And then the plan is we're going to lift those up, take those lights off, pull the cables up. Yo, how's everyone doing? Welcome to the channel. So today I have got some alterations to be done. So this is a property that we've had to completely stop what we were doing. We were doing a rewire here and it all had to go on massive hold. So we've got partially of the way through. I'll put the link above my head on previous videos for here. So I'm back here today because it's now going to be done in stages and we're now got to get on with removing like the wall lights. We've got two wall lights here because all this front bay is all going to be plastered with lime plaster. So we've got to get things all prepped. And that light there, that light, and there is a socket down there. They all need to be isolated and got rid of for now because obviously the front bay is all going to be sorted. So as you can see, there is some rewiring that's already been done. Like I say, in the previous videos we've got so far and then we had to stop, and all will be revealed a little bit later on in the video. If you're new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please make sure you do. It's completely free. It'll help the channel grow. Leave your comments below if you've enjoyed the video or if you want to see anything else. Let me know, but let's roll the intro. So first things first, we've obviously still got the power on. So what I'm planning on doing is to removing these. Now, as you can see, we've got some really ornate coving and cornice picture rails. And then the plan is we're going to lift those up, take those lights off, pull the cables up, isolate them underneath the floor, because like I say, this is all being rewired anyway, so we just need to make it safe for now and get rid of that. So let's get some kit out and then we'll go through all that for you so you know what kit we're going to be using. So depending on how that's been installed, well, there might actually be some oval conduit in there, which if it is, I'll be really glad and really lucky. If not, we're going to be whipping this bad boy out. So this is the dust extractor. We've also got the wall chaser that's got a triple blade on it, which will munch its way through so far, and then we'll have to pick out underneath and then go up again. Let's take you upstairs. We'll go through into the bedroom where we've just moved a load of furniture so we can get the floors lifted up. So just here, what we're going to do is we're going to cut through the floorboards, pop them up and see what we're working with. And then the idea is we'll leave them long enough from one cable from here, which will go back to where the light switch will be, which is going to be basically essentially down there. So we'll make sure it's long enough to get all the way through. And then from that one, we'll have a cable that was long enough to go down to that end. So let's get the oscillator out and we'll get that floor lifted. I think that is the first port of call. Okay, so we've pulled up the floor here and there is a joist straight away in that location. And because I've got this stud wall here, we've whipped up this side. So this has come up and I can now see the cable down here. There is no actual capping or trunking or anything like that. So it's all in amongst the actual plaster. Instead of using that, what I'm gonna have to do is actually unpick this now by hand. and try and get it all loose. So that is my next stage. I'm going to get that sorted right now. Right, so we've removed the lights, we've isolated the power, because obviously if it wasn't, I wouldn't be speaking to you right now. It would, be the end of me. So we took the light out and then we've had to do the chase. So like I said, it was all in amongst the actual plaster. So what we've done is we've actually hand chased that. When I say hand chased it, I mean I'm not a heathen. I've used the SDS, so the SDS down there, rather than the actual grinder as such. So then I've just tied on, I'll show you the whole process in a moment. I'm going to do it on that one over there, but just wanted to basically show you what we've done. So we've then tied on and then pulled through. So let's jump back upstairs and I'll show you where we're at. So obviously from downstairs, we've just drawn the new cable through. So this is the old one. So hence the reason, old wall light, a little smiley face for the next guy. So this is going to be underneath the floor right now. It's all in some Wago connectors. So that's going to be popped underneath the floor, but obviously that is going to be obsolete in a not too distant future. So just for now, obviously we'll put it in there and it's away. We've then got enough cable up here, which is then got to track all the way down and then to the light switch, which is down there. So that's great. So we're at that stage. So this side, which is we're going to do this together, I've just popped up the floor and we can see the cable straight away. Because I've got a stud wall here, because they're doing all the insulation, because this is a very old house, you can imagine. There's no insulation and stuff, so this is what they're doing. There's a joist just here, as we can see, so the cable's tucked down. So what we're going to now need to do is unpick the wall downstairs, and then we can connect on. Same again with the Wago on this one, so we'll go through that. And then I can rod through down this end, and then that's going to go all the way back down there. So you might be wondering what cable we're going to be using. So it's 1mm cable that we're going to use. Now my preferred cable manufacturer is Doncaster cables. Doncaster cables have been going for the last 40 years, something like that. It's a really ridiculously long time. Manufactured in the UK. It's not sponsored by them. The reason why I prefer using Doncaster cables is it's actually a better quality cable. Now, quite often I use Earthshore, which is their new product, which has basically got the earthing is already pre-sleeved, but they didn't have any in stock, so we've ended up getting your standard normal 1mm twin and earth cable we're putting in it. But it is a better product in my eyes than what is a lot on the market from other places, if that makes any sense. Prove me wrong. Leave it in the comments below. If you think I'm just being a snob, then let me know. Then just put it in the comments below. Tell me what you use. Let me know what, why you prefer that over this. I'm all ears. At the end of the day, it's all about learning. So yes, that's what we're using. I've got it on a drum runner as well. The job out better. So I find with that, it's nice and easy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to unpick this together. We'll get this all sorted, chased out, and then we'll start pulling that through. But you see, one of the things you see what gets me is you see how close that fixing is. So we'll lightly unpick this together. If that's not been hit, that's a miracle. I mean, how ridiculous is that? So who knows? Who knows what's that? I mean, how stupid. How close is that? How close? Okay, so what we're going to do now is on here, we'll strip these back, we'll tie onto this old cable and we'll pull the new one through with it, because that should go all the way through. But let's show you how to tie on. Okay, so for tying on, what I normally do is, especially if it's going to be a bit of a harder pull, is peel all three cores on here. So we'll do that. You can always tell with the older cable, it's a bit rough. So you get those three together. Get those three and essentially turn that back on itself. This one back on that one, and then twist and then fold it flat. and then back like that. Then that will tie those two together. And then if you want to sort of make it a bit smoother as it's going through, whack some insulation tape around there. And what that does, it smooths out some of the lumps on it. So as you're pulling the cable through, it should go through pretty straightforward. So the cable's all set up on the drum runner, led up, ready to go for the pull. So let's go upstairs and pull that cable. And there we have it, there's the new one. So we just need to cut this off now. Okay, so it's all put back to bed upstairs. So we're going to leave this cable nice and long because I'm not entirely sure whether there's actually some insulation and stuff going on here. So we've got the cable in place. So we're going to go through in a moment on what we're going to use to hold the cable to the wall. There's a couple of different methods that we can use, but my preferred method you'll see in a minute. But first and foremost, I need to have a little bit of a square up. Don't tell anyone, but yes, I own a brush.
How lucky you are.
Keep that amongst yourselves, all right? No, seriously, don't tell anyone.
Oh, is that you?
I mean, I didn't say I was going to pick it up. Okay, so for holding the cables in place, the best way I find is by using banding strap. Now, and the way to fix that, as long as the wall's all good, is by using the spit nailer. So the spit nailer will fire into almost any sort of substrate whatsoever, even does steel. It's a brilliant, brilliant bit of kit. So what we do is, obviously we've only got one cable in there, so we'll just use 4 holes, cut that round, and pin that into the hole. Into the hole? Into the wall. You know what I mean. Okay, so all that's left to do now is have a big square up, and that is all ready for the plasterer. Okay, so as you've just seen, we've just used the spit nailer to pin the back box back on, and we've got the banding strap now all the way up. So I'll just quickly pop you upstairs, so just to explain where we're at. So as you can see, we've got all of the rewire started up here, and the client's been absolutely smashing it up here. So what we had was an issue because of a structural problem. So we were carrying out the rewire. This is when Kian was working with us, and we discovered some structural issues with the flooring. So we had to put a pause on the job. The client's had all that sorted now, and then he's been cracking on doing all this insulating and basically doing this this room up. So in here, this is going to be like a master bedroom as such. So he's now literally just been talking to him downstairs about the insulation, and he's gone why he's chose this method over the Celotex. And in fairness, I actually really like this. So this is the rock wall insulation that's all in. So he's actually paid for a surveyor to come out and do all the calculations for what's needed. Now, I've noticed a massive difference just by coming up here and just talking and walking around normally, where it almost sounds like, this might sound ridiculous, but it actually sounds a little bit more like soundproof the room as well. So it's great. It's really, really good stuff. It's easier to actually work with. So for me, as an electrician, I've got to put in this socket that's going to go in here. I've got room to push back, whereas in Celotex you don't. You've then got to carve it all out. It's another headache. So effectively, what the client's done is made like a stud walls all the way around the building, and then obviously filled it full of insulation. So it's actually brilliant. So I don't know why we don't do it a bit more in the GHC. So I think we might have to look into that. So that's why the job ended up being on postponed and things like that. And obviously we're working away all the way through it and doing bits what needs to be done at the right time. So hopefully that makes sense. So if you've enjoyed this, make sure that you hit the subscribe button in the corner. Leave your comments below. Have you used this before? I mean, is this what you've used? Let me know. And we shall see you on the next one.